Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Tylarious, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. All right. In this video, I want to talk to you about the Chop Shop DLC. I want to kind of give you guys my review, my initial thoughts, some pros and cons, and absolutely rant about a major issue with this DLC. And this issue is one of several that I have been trying to open everyone's eyes to and warn you about because it's literally happening right in front of us. Okay, it really is. Now, I don't want to be all doom and gloom. I hate that. There's a lot of good with this DLC, and we're going to talk about that. All right, but I absolutely must use the platform to highlight and again to try to just get you guys to see what's going on with this in regard to the future of Grand Theft Auto Online as we move into GTA 6. Okay? Now listen guys, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you guys think about this DLC. Give me a honest, no bullcrap assessment and let me know what you guys think about this DLC. Tell me what your pros and your cons are as well. And let me know if you agree or disagree with some of the points I've made and how you may differ from the point of view I have with some of these issues. Okay? And of course, if you enjoy the video, drop a like. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss out. Okay? Let's go ahead and cover the pros. The Chop Shop DLC. Let's go ahead and talk about the good stuff, the things that I do like. First up, straight up, sorting the vehicles through the interaction menu. That's a big pro. That's a big W. I've heard some people in my comments and previous videos talk about, they're like, no, Ty, I'm not giving Rockstar credit for this because it's taken us 10 years to get this. We should have had this a long time ago. And I get that. I totally agree. And I think the major reason why we haven't is because of people exploiting and duping cars and things. Maybe Rockstar found a way to get this implemented and that wouldn't be an issue. I don't know, right? But I could think that maybe that was part of the reason. So I understand both perspectives with that right there. But overall, I am glad that we have it. All right. Adding cop cars into the game. Another thing that we should have had years ago. It seems like as soon as Rockstar bought a major RP server, now we're kind of getting the stuff rolling out here that we should have already had for a while. So again, I guess better late than never. But I do like they're more fun than I thought. I have some fun, kind of griefing and trolling a little bit, harmless, nothing major, just some harmless fun in free mode. Trying to figure out why so many people are resisting arrest. But yeah, so the cop cars are a fun addition. The drift cars are okay, even though what Rockstar has done for the drift mechanics, it's not what drifting really is. And I'm okay with it not being exactly realistic. They have to do what they have to do to make it work with the platform they have and the other mechanics of the vehicles. I get it, it's fine, but it's fun. The drifting is I'm starting to kind of get a little bit better with it, and it's kind of I'm still trash at it, but it is a lot more fun. And having the cars, given those types of cars that are not meta, giving them like a separate purpose, for usability, I think is a good thing as well. Something I was very concerned about were adding animals into the game. And I think that Rockstar has done a good job about dispersing the animals and not making it too much in your face. I was thinking that they would have it, to where the animals would be very, all around you just to show off the fact that we have animals in the game. And I was afraid of what that would lead to with this, idiots in the lobbies being dumb and cruel and things like that. But I really think that they've done it well, and I applaud them for that. It's not overwhelming. Nothing, no major performance issues. I was worried about that as well, that I can tell. I haven't been around a bunch of animals at one time and noticed any kind of like frame drops or whatever. However, I have noticed several instances while drifting getting dropping frames because you have a bunch of cars that have the tire smoke. I have noticed that. And let me know if you guys have noticed that as well. That's interesting. I want to see if that's a widespread thing. Maybe it's just a issue with my console being on too long or whatever. But that's a possibility. I say that, but I turn my console off like every other day just to let it cool down. Anyways, though, let's see what else we got here. The microphone being set to off on default, I think that's overall a good thing. However, I have noticed that lobbies are dead quiet now. Every now and again, you'll find somebody that has their mic on. Unfortunately, the mic is on. They're not using it. All we get is the same background noise. They're using a PlayStation controller on the PlayStation console, so the mic is terrible. It's echoey. It's so strange to me how somebody will willingly turn on their mic and then just not even use it and have a terrible mic set up with the control. It's just I have no idea why it's like that. But so hopefully over time, some people will start to figure it out and they'll be on the mics using it. But I think overall it is a good thing. All right. Uh, the actual chop shop business, the salvage yard business, I do like it. I like the missions. I like the tow truck aspect. It has a nostalgia. It brings out some, story mode missions. It's kind of like the taxi cab in that regard, where it's nostalgic. The pay is way better, obviously. Uh, and then of course the wall safe is tied to the tow truck business. That's kind of like a fun aspect as well. It's like a hybrid passive active income. I do think it should be just fully passive, but to accelerate it, it's fine, no big deal. So that's some of the pros that I have with the DLC. A few of the things in there as well. I'm sure you guys let me know what some extra pros are that you guys have. Now let's move on to the cons and kind of where my rant is going to come from with this DLC. All right. Um, I initially gave this DLC a rating of a 6.5 out of 10. Now, if you guys know, my rating scale is extremely strict. I base it basically, if you're a 5 out of 5, it's basically, you've broken even. There's really no benefit to the DLC. There's no negative. It's just there, right? I initially gave it a 6.5, which is, pretty average. For me, anyways. I don't think I've ever given a DLC more than like an 8.5 ever. So, that means in my point of view, my perspective, my grading scale, right? This DLC has added a net benefit to the game. However, I'm going to have to bring that down to a 5.5, right? That's a pretty big drop. It's significant. I still think that the DLC overall adds value, but I've had to drop this down. And for a couple of just major reasons. It's always one step forward, two steps back with Rockstar. Uh, One side reason, the interaction menu, the overall how they've kind of like, quote unquote streamlined it, it's actually worse than what it was before. It takes you more actions to do simple things than it did before. Right? Now, if I'm in a vehicle and I want to put snacks or use snacks or put an armor on, I have to go through double the amount of actions to get to my snacks and armor. Before, it was still a pain, but it was easier, right? Now, if you're on foot, you just use the weapon wheel. That was a great change, but that's not really part of the interaction menu. That was something different, and that's a while ago. It's not for this DLC. That's a pet peeve of mine. Of course, it'll get better as we get more used to it, muscle memory. But there are most of the things that we have to do now. It takes more actions and steps to get through. So kind of a pain. It just feels like it adds more to it. In addition, with this DLC, the NPCs and overall, I think just every NPC, the aggression has been amplified. I feel like they've modified it a little bit, and now I feel like the NPCs are not only more aggressive with how they shoot. I feel like when they shoot, it's like more of a burst. It's like a brat leading to like basically a hit scan deletion of your health and armor, which in turn makes you use more snacks and armor. And it's not just me. I've had dozens of people say, Ty, yeah, I feel like I'm using more health and armor now for some reason with this DLC. And if you notice when you're doing these missions, the NPCs are not carrying, pistols anymore. They all got automatic weapons. They're all using high powered weapons, it feels like. So you're also getting deleted with your health and armor much faster that way as well. So that's a big issue. And what that does is it not only adds an extra layer of difficulty that necessarily doesn't have to be there, it increases something that this DLC dramatically has increased, and that is AGL. You've heard me say this a lot. AGL stands for Artificial Game Lengthener. It's a way for the game, the developer like Rockstar, to increase our engagement. It's designed to make us be in the game longer, increase our engagement. It's designed to slow everything down, making money more difficult as well, taking longer to make money. Again, artificial game lengthener. And so what Rockstar has done in the past is that they've just made the missions longer. They've made you go through, unnecessary steps. And then most recently, they have been, in the name of balancing the game, which is just simply not true, they have been increasing the cooldown timers, right? All of our heists got jumped up from just a few minutes of a cooldown to 48 minutes, all the way up to 3 hours for a cooldown timer on particular heists. And on this particular DLC, as we all know, the salvage yard robberies have not a 48-minute cooldown timer, not a 3-hour cooldown timer. They have a 168-hour cooldown timer. 7 days. That is unheard of. And what Rockstar is doing is, what it seems like they're doing, is trying to condition the player base into this being the new norm. They're doing it for GTA 6 because they don't want people to be able to make money hand over fist legitimately, even though it's, quite difficult, especially starting out. They want everything to take much longer, stretch it all out to increase player engagement. And honestly, in the long run, it's just going to hurt their player retention and retainability. It really is. It's going to be a major issue with that. And so they're conditioning us to be the new normal, and it will allow them to put more things behind the paywall. GTA Plus, right? Shark cards. Why wait a whole week to get paid when I can just spend $100 of daddy and mommy's money and get me a little measly $8 million? And think about this. Even if you were to pay the lowest amount for your Chop Shop location, right? You're well over $1 million. So with the payout that we have so far, all we know, because it has we haven't had a refreshed amount of vehicles to sell for the Chop Shop. A little over 900,000 is what we get. Let's just call it $1 million, right? Let's just say it's $1 million that we get. So it would take us more than a whole week, more than 7 days. It would take us roughly 10 days to actually make our money, actually a little bit longer than that, about 11 days, to make our money back on the DLC. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. For almost all the businesses, it takes roughly 24 to 50 hours. I think the nightclub, if you spent the least amount, I think for the nightclub to make all your money back, it's around like 50 to 60 hours for the whole thing to fill up, and you're right there about to start making your money, right? Most of the other businesses, it's around 24 hours of actual grind, and you're at the very least broke even. With this particular business, right, just to break even, you have to be involved or invested, right, for a week to get your money back. They are retaining us. That's the retention, right? That's the goal. And then artificial game lengther, and by means of the cooldown period, is the method in which they're trying to achieve that goal. And they've also linked and put in career progress with this. And for the career progress, for you to completely get everything done, it will take you over 10 weeks. 10 weeks. 2.5 months to clear out. And that's if everything goes perfectly. And that is crazy. That is ridiculous. I get that everybody is ranting about it and upset, but why? We should be outraged. We should be outraged. Now, if doing what I did, I paid almost $6 million for. I bought the most expensive everything, right? Got all, it's like $5.7 million or something like that. It's going to take me more than 5 weeks just to break even on the business. If our average payout for the 3 vehicles per week is going to be roughly $1 million, well, that's 6 weeks before I'm actually profitable. That is wild. That's insane. How can we just be okay with this? So, again, I have to lower the score, a 5.5, and that's being generous. You can make an argument that the pros and cons kind of just wash themselves out, and the DLC is an even 5. You can even make the argument that this is a net negative, and then it's under a 5. We're under even. So that it's crazy. And then in addition, you have a 100-car garage. The garage space is such a fun thing that we could have, could collect our vehicles, and they hide that behind a paywall, and we cannot turn the icon off in our mini map, and it's right. The new Vinewood 100-car garage is right in the middle of the map, and you can't turn that icon off, so you're always seeing that. It's bullshit. They're just throwing it out there and forcing that as an advertisement in our face. It's so dumb. More things that we used to get from the DLC for free. More and more things. I've been arguing and telling people, guys, I get it. It's your money. Do what you want. But you are allowing them to build confidence and hiding more and more things behind a paywall like GTA Plus, all because you want the little chameleon paint color for your car. Right? You want a cool little shirt? This is all shit that we used to get from in-game challenges. for free in the game, for being a part of the, for actually logging in. Now we have to pay money for it. What are you guys doing? What are you thinking? Again, play the game how you want. I'm not trying to tell you not to spend your money how you want to. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to let you see that you're allowing them to build this new monetization system, and you're allowing them to create a new norm with what gaming is turning into. They're trying to turn it into a mobile platform. They are. They're trying to take console gaming and turn it into a mobile type of monetization platform. And it's going to hurt gaming in the long run. It's going to just cheapen it up and completely just ruin the. It's hard to describe it, but just ruin the good feel of gaming. It's going to be gone. So that's just how I feel about it. And I've heard me argue and make this argument for over a year now, and it's step by step, day by day, more and more. I'm being proven right. I'm actually seeing it happen right in front of us, and it's just crazy. So, anyways, that's how I feel about it. I think the DLC has some good things, but overall, I think that we really need to pay attention to what's going on, and you guys really have to assess how you see Grand Theft Auto in the future and how you want it to play out. All right, so there you guys have it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for the Ills Reels content. The game smash. I mean, smash that like button. See you guys in the next one. All right, peace out. Yeah.